And I think this is going to make a difference for our kids. I think it's going to make a difference in the life of our community, and it's certainly going to make a difference in the life of our economy. And make no mistake about it, one of our stated goals for our administration is to increase graduation rates. I think this is also going to increase graduation rates. Did you know that some national statistics suggest that 50% of the boys and girls that drop out of high school in this country are making a passing grade when they drop out? 50%. Now, educators will tell you that what keeps young people engaged in school is three things: relationship, that teacher that you love, right? Rigor, actually. The students aren't challenged, they tend to lose interest. But the last one is relevance. And if our young people don't see relevance to a high school degree, if they don't see a pathway to where they want to start in life, I think we're losing a lot of them along the pathway. Whereas we create curriculum that is relevant in communities like this, that pathways in Kosciuszko County that lead to careers in Kosciuszko County, I think it's going to improve the outcome of our schools, and it's going to give our kids an opportunity to start on success. And let me just abuse you with one other idea. You know, for a long time, it seems like in the last 30 years when we moved away from what back in the day we used to call industrial arts. There's this notion that somehow, you know, if you encourage kids to go to college, that they have a future that's on this trajectory, and if you don't encourage them to go to college, it's on this trajectory. I completely and categorically reject that. I think the objective in education ought to be to create pathways where our young men and women can start on success, because I believe that success begets success. I told a story last night before the General Assembly. If you missed it, it was on during Wheel of Fortune. But I told a story last night of when I was at a forum just like this, and I was talking about this issue, and a man invited me over to his business. His name is Bill Beach. He invited me over to his business, and he said, I wanted to tell you, here's a guy that has a manufacturing facility about 400,000 square feet. He employs about 600 Hoosiers. And while we were standing on the catwalk overlooking this bustling factory, he looked at me and he said, that vocational education thing, he goes, you want me to tell you how right you are about that? And I said, sure. I'd love people to tell me how right I am. Always available. And he looked at me very shyly and he said, well, I grew up on a farm not far from here. And he said, when I was about 15, my dad walked up to me on the farm and he said, you know what? Your brother's good at book learning, so he's going to college, but you're good with your hands. So you're going to vocational school. And he said it kind of shyly. And he said, so, and I said, well, when did you start this company? He goes, well, me and Wendy just started it back in 1972 with one other person. We started making these injection molds. It's very much like the story of some of the legendary entrepreneurs in this room. And I could tell it was almost like something like, it's amazing to me the humility that comes in entrepreneurs sometimes who have modest starts in their life. And I saw that humility exuding out of him. And so I put my hand on his shoulder and I said, well, you know, Bill, I said, turns out your dad was right. And he said, well, how do you mean? And I said, well, he said you were good with your hands, and you were. Look what those hands have built. And that's the reality. The reality is, I won't embarrass by naming names of the people in this room. You know who's in this room, who has the same kind of stories. Okay? It's the Bill Beaches out there. It's the Juanita Beaches. It's people who, if we give them an opportunity to start, the sky's the limit. If we give them a foundation in education that allows them to start their life on success, then we're going to do right by them. We're going to do right by the needs of our economy and a growing economy. But make no mistake about it, we're going to unleash the real potential of the future of the state by giving our young people the opportunity to go live their dreams. And I'm excited about it. So, let me close by saying I think this is an extraordinary time in the life of our state. And I come to you tonight with a great deal of enthusiasm about the opportunity we have. But I know I come into a community that already is putting these things into practice. A community that's already working on a regional basis, that has local leadership that understands the vital relationship between workforce. A community that already understands the way that you can create world-class companies in the heart of the heartland. and thrive and build, and the relationship between all of that and the policies that are promoted. And so I just ask for your help. I ask for Kosciuszko County to share your passion with neighbors and friends in this community all across the region and all across the state. Because I really do believe that if all of us do all we can to seize this moment in the life of our state, we can take our state somewhere that is fundamentally more prosperous, with fundamentally more opportunities for our kids, with stronger communities and stronger families than at any time in the life of our state. And when we do that, we're going to do two things. Okay? I say this to Hoosiers from my heart. First, what we're going to do is we're going to get those 250,000 Hoosiers that are out of work back to work. We're going to create some jobs beyond that. We're going to get these schools working for all of our kids, regardless of where they start in life and regardless of where they want to start in life. We're going to promote policies that strengthen communities and strengthen families. But we'll do one other thing. You know, this is a very uncertain time in the life of our nation. It's a very anxious time. I've heard more people in the last 2 years tell me they were scared about the future than I ever heard in the previous 51 years of my life. And I think people are scared because, quite frankly and quite candidly, I think leaders of both political parties at the national level have let the American people down, have failed to practice what they preach, have failed to be willing to provide government as good as their people. But it's been different in Indiana, hasn't it? In the last 8 years, we've been demonstrating that you can still practice fiscal responsibility, promote economic freedom, promote educational opportunities on the basis of equality of opportunity. You can build it all on a foundation of common sense and common values that make our communities and our families strong, and it all still works. And so make no mistake about it, here in Kosciuszko County, as you begin your next great century of prosperity, that if we seize this moment in the life of our state, we will do right by Hoosiers today and tomorrow. But we will also serve to inspire our nation, to give people around this country hope that it all still works and it can work again. And I think Indiana can help lead our country by example, back to everything that always made America strong in the past and will make America strong again. So let me say, I'm excited about this opportunity. I'm 1 week into this job, and I'm deeply humbled by it. But I'm at every moment, I grow more energized as I travel around the state and meet with Hoosiers and sense their enthusiasm. Because I know that together, we can build a more prosperous future. Together, we can open pathways of success for all of our kids. And that together, we can approach our third century with confidence, knowing that He who strengthened the hands of our pioneer forebears is still with us today and will see us through these times for our countrymen and to help inspire our nation. So help us God. Thank you very much. It is my high honor to serve you as your governor, and I look forward to being back in this community again and often in the days ahead. God bless you all.
So, wow doesn't seem to cover it. It's a challenge to be able to follow such a great leader at the podium. And yet, knowing what's about to come this evening is inspiring for me. I appreciate deeply the governor's sentiment and leadership on all honest work being honorable work. It is a challenge, and I'm of the generation who told every kid that you had to go to college, and we sometimes forgot the honorable work that the folks at Ivy Tech and that the folks at our K-12 schools work so hard to make sure their students do. And it's inspiring for the state of Indiana to have the governor give that message that all honest work is honorable work. And we thank him for that, among the many other salient points. And Governor Pence, I know that Kosciuszko County will always welcome you with open arms, and your leadership is greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for being here. Now, on a lighter note, I've been in, I graduated from Butler in 1984, so I guess it's a whole lot of years, and I've never had a timestamp of somebody threatening to moon the crowd if we didn't get the governor out on time. So we are very thankful that the governor is prompt and held honor to that thing, because even Mary Louise said, we don't want to see that moon this evening. So the awards portion of our night, this is what, for the Woodstock-Kosciuszko County Chamber, is such a unique opportunity. It's kind of two crescendos in the same evening. And so if you'll bear with us, the second crescendo is about to begin as we award very, very important awards to people in this community who have impacted the community and have impacted the Warsaw-Kosciuszko Chamber in such a great way. Our chairman of ambassadors cannot be here tonight. Jim Hannon has served this past year as our chairman of our ambassadors and has done an extraordinary job in doing so. And so he went to the B team and asked if I would award the ambassador award. So I'm honored to be able to talk about our ambassador of the year. You've heard me say it before, but it is important that I say it every time. Ambassadors are an extension of the Warsaw-Kosciuszko County Chamber. It's one of the most important volunteer opportunities we have. Many businesses out there, when you meet an ambassador, think you're actually meeting with staff or somebody from the chairman or from the chamber. They think they're talking with paid staff. And yet our ambassadors are volunteers who spend a lot of time on our behalf in the community, promoting us, soliciting membership, doing a lot of extraordinary things to make sure that the businesses of Kosciuszko County don't forget the Warsaw-Kosciuszko Chamber. Well, this year's recipient is really the embodiment of that philosophy. She works very hard as an ambassador and also volunteers on many other committees and task force on behalf of the Chamber. She's a tireless worker for the Warsaw-Kosciuszko County Chamber. She's enthusiastically volunteered at our annual Taste and Trade Expo, attended virtually every ribbon cutting, which means so much to the businesses when we show up, and can be seen at almost every business after hours. She spent the day at our annual golf outing, working hard, signing people in. She made numerous calls on members and consistently tells people how we serve our mission and how they can help be a part of our mission. She exudes a professional dignity and appearance whenever in public that is an inspiration for all of us. To the chamber staff, she's a dedicated volunteer. She previously received this award with the most gracious humility, almost shyly accepting it, saying, "Jesus, it's not life-changing," and she was almost embarrassed to admit that. And yet, what she doesn't realize is her work on behalf of the Warsaw-Kosciuszko County Chamber creates a very positive change in our community. She impacts Kosciuszko County in the most positive way, and we're honored to be able to give her this award. And by the way, you might know she's a previous recipient, and we have not let her give up on that Italian restaurant for Kosciuszko County. And so that gives it away. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in awarding or in honoring Jan Orban as our ambassador of the year.